Zani on row 2, it's Rios, Esteban, and on row 3, Gonzalez, Liese, and Bouncy. Behind them, Alzina, Mark Morelli, and Leonardo Ruzzo. Row 5, Danish, Singapore, and Mithani. Row 6, row 9, Cielo, Agustinelli, Vargas. Then on row 10, it's Brown, Serpa, and Tietzi. Row 11, Frontala and Wojciechowski.
Pit lane for the warm-up lap, meaning he's going to have some penalties coming his way. That happened, not to give too much away of what happened in previous races.
An incredible show of physical capacity to be able to deal with it whilst riding a bike, wearing those leathers. I mean, it's just tremendous that they're able to do what they do at this temperature.
Yeah, ski. Tietzi, and there'll be an inquest.
Frustrating. An inquest.
There'll be an inquest, I think, in the weeks after this before we head off to Magny-Cours for round 3.
Needs to be checking that thermometer because it is absolutely scorching here in Jerez. It's going on 40 degrees. These riders putting on an incredible.
Rico Salmela attempting to get the better of Brian Uriarte on the outside. Uriarte powering through with the inside line to take victory. Uriarte rolls up then to pole position with Rico Salmela. Matter of moments before we will see the red flag and green flag waved, and we've more problems. Eduardo Bartola, I think, is this? It is.
Yeah.
Oh, disappointment. He's going to have to start from pit. Okay, we are off and about to go racing. Eyes on the light. Junior GP race 2 is underway. Huge wheelie from further back in the grid, but it's Brian Uriarte who gets away all right. But he's got the same company, Leonardo Zani from the outside and front row. Look, going to take the whole shot up the inside with Rico Salmela in third. Crash at the back of the pack. Jesus Rios then is in 4th position with Joel Esteban and Casey O'Gorman, as you were then for row 2 as it was, but it is Joel Esteban firing it up the inside of Jesus Rios, but Rios cuts the nose off him as we lose Ivan Serpa at turn 1.
Incredible ability there to get the best of Brian Uriarte, get the whole shot there when he's starting on pole. I mean, absolutely sensational stuff. I mean, how audacious do you need to be to do that to Brian Uriarte after what we've seen from him so far in this competition?
And Uriarte has been relegated here to 5th position. It's a B Network 1-2. Down in P5 now. He's got Casey O'Gorman on his rear wheel too. Is there more trouble coming the way of Uriarte, or can he fight his way back here? Coming through the last couple of corners. Yeah, so Zani though, he's opened up quite a gap here. He's got a few tenths over his teammate. Number 50 here in Jerez. So, turn 1, Zani's got the advantage. Uriarte is firing himself though up into 3rd position. Esteban going to hang it on the outside but settles into 4th. He's got Rios on the inside, so Esteban's down in 5th.
This is more of what we were expecting from Esteban. He didn't make it stick for long, but he was absolutely wonderful that he's capable of. But for the time being, it's Zani who's just getting away from it. Uriarte compensating now on this second lap for what happened in the first lap and that relatively poor start, but he's got Salmela right next to him here, and Rios not far behind at all.
Yeah, absolutely. So 3 abreast as they come into Danny. But the timing screens, and we've seen no major movers or shakers. Just a couple riders slipping one way or another by a position or 2. But back out front, it is Zani over Uriarte, and then it's Rios, and they go side by side here. Joel Esteban and Rico Salmela, and Joel Esteban comes out the better of that exchange. So we're close to clocking that gap down, and he is closing that gap down. He's into the slipstream of Leonardo Zani as we come through the final corner. Let's see what Uriarte has in store. Can he make a move for the lead coming into turn 1 here?
Yeah, if you're in Zani's position, the rider that you don't want under any circumstances behind you is Brian Uriarte, but it's Uriarte who's setting the fastest lap at 1:46.004. Absolutely sensational, almost in the 1:45s there from Brian Uriarte as he looks to catch Leonardo Zani.
Brilliant stuff from the championship leader, and the hunt is very much on here. You can see him swarming all over the ring into turn 6. We're on the back straight here. Uriarte's adopting the outside line. It's working for him. He's back in the lead, Brian Uriarte, and it's much like what it was in race 1. Uriarte over Zani with Jesus Rios in pursuit. What is different is David Gonzalez. We said watch out for him from the 3rd row. He's got some serious pace to burn if he can get.
Is now ahead of the riders around him. If he can keep that position and start eating up some of the track ahead and really try and catch up with the leading 3. And that's what he's got to aim to do now. For the time being, it just looked like Uriarte, Zani and Rios are pulling away a bit. They've got a gap of
on track, a 146.004 last time round. He's also just set personal best and best sector 1s and sector 3s of the race, but Zani and Rios seem to be going with them. It'll be interesting to see what the times are. 145.7, 145.9 and 145.9. So Uriarte did
the nerves in that box there as they watch these two battle again. I mean, we talk about rivalry all the time. We were mentioning Uriarte again, who's set an even faster lap here, 145.7 from 5. Absolutely sensational stuff from the young Spaniard. But the right just tagging along with them, not quite in the battle between the two, but he's there or thereabouts, so he's just waiting for his moment. Rios, we've seen perform incredible feats before. There's no reason to think he won't perform one here in Jerez as well.
Yeah, it's a real style of Jesus Rios. A couple of the wins he's got, particularly across 20 ahead of him, that he struck and touched the victory on the last lap. So he does have the habit of doing this. Now, Rico Salmela, speaking of habits, has a habit of finding some incredible late race pace. He's currently stuck behind David Gonzalez, and he's looking the pace of the flying fin. He's already opened up a bit of a gap. So we're going to see what was Rico Salmela's time, 146.577. So not in the 145s like the lead trio. There was a 145.6 from Brian Uriarte. So they're opening up a gap, but Salmela says he wants to follow them.
It's growing and growing. In the previous lap, Uriarte almost a second faster than Salmela, who, it's true, was battling for that 4th position with the likes of David Gonzalez, Joel Esteban, and Casey O'Gorman's also involved there. They were chopping and changing. But now that he's got a bit of space ahead of him, Rico...
About half a lap in, so he's moving fast, Salmela. He's pretty quick. He's matching the times of Uriarte, but matching isn't going to be good enough to catch him. So he'll need to find a little bit more. He'll need to go to the well and see what he can find. But out front, Uriarte ahead because it's Leonardo Zani who now leads this race. He'll have looked behind and seen Jesus Rios. But now let's see what Uriarte is going to do here. Does he want that fresh air coming in, or does he want to get the reference of Zani and use him as his reference around this track and learn where is the best place to strike on the number?
From Uriarte and Rios.
Yeah, you can see Rico Salmela then is closing in. Joel Esteban at the back of that group. Something went wrong for him. I think at that final corner he must have ran wide because his name went tumbling down the time screens. He's now in P10 at the back of this group, which is led by
from P11 on the grid to P8 now, so he should start challenging the riders ahead of him.
Yeah. So this is the battle for 4th. We are watching for 5th, I should say. We are watching. It looks like they do not have the pace to go with the podium trio. They don't have the pace to follow Rico Salmela remaining.
Yeah, some of these battles are just absolutely incredible. We're going to see more of it as this race goes on. It is Denise who's leading this group, but Morelli's now ahead.
Oh, more problems coming the way of Uriarte here. Jesus Rios, I think it was. But yeah, so it's a 1-2 here. Leonardo Zani was unfortunate to miss out on the podium last time round, but he's here in the lead group of 3 riders. Rico Salmela, though, a 145.9. Fastest rider on track right now is the Flying Fin. He has 9/10 of a second over Uriarte, 9/10 of a second over the riders ahead of him. So Salmela, it's a matter of time before he makes this a 4-way fight for victory.
Uriarte just made his move there to get into P2 as well, but this battle is raging between these 3. Brian Uriarte now back in P3 once again, but he made his move there. Uriarte on the inside of Rios. Is he going to make it stick? Oh, that's close.
It is close indeed, and of course, as a consequence of all of this, battling and fighting ahead. It's bringing Rico Salmela closer and closer to that podium trio. Only onto the position. So right through penalty for the number 34, Cesare Chieti. Oh, his day goes from bad to worse, doesn't it, Connor? Pit lane, starting from pit lane and having troubles on the grid. He now has a rider right through penalty for ignoring the long lap penalties he was supposed to serve. Oh.
He knows the rules, I hope. So yeah, very disappointing.
Yeah, absolutely. So Chieti, he's running towards the back of the grid, but Uriarte, we're focused on what's happening here at the front, and Uriarte shows why he's the hottest prospect in just a matter of corners. He gets the better of both the Fee Network XCI Mir Racing Team riders. Brilliant stuff from the championship leader in the battle. For 5th place, it's David Gonzalez over Casey O'Gorman, Mark Morelli. Then after that, big group here. Lanes on offer, kind of goes without saying for P12, P13. Who's the last rider? Giulio Pugliese. So it's P5 to P12 here, this
Look
battle.
at them now, they're all bunched together. It could go any way, but as you mentioned, those points are so important. O'Gorman just there coming in.
Suffering issues in the first 2 races of the year, but it is O'Gorman now who leads over Gonzalez. So plenty of action in this scrap mid-pack. Hakim Danish involved there too. He's got a podium to his name. Picked that up in the opening round in Portugal. Back out front, it's as you were. Brian Uriarte is leading the race over Zani and Jesus Rios. So these riders, he's now what, less than 1 second. He was 2 seconds away. You can see it there. You don't need me to tell you the times. You can see Salmela is closing. It's a brilliant few laps for the Finnish rider.
Yeah, he's running at the paper for how long he's got. And then he's just behind, and that is chopping and changing all the time. Back at the front, it is still Uriarte, and now he's got Zani looking to get the inside line there, just not quite close enough. As we go through turn 5 now, a bit of room on the strip.
Rios recently. So, live championship standings, Uriarte, as things stand, would be 3 from 3. Rico Salmela running in 4th position, falls 26 points behind. So you can see the importance of this charge from Rico Salmela to keep himself within range of.
Yeah, about to be absolutely incredible, as is this performance from Uriarte. We saw him coming under real pressure from Zani and from Rios, dropping back, and he showed real composure to claw his way back to the front.
Throughout the weekend to be a contender. Of course, he is one of the front runners of this Junior GP class in 2025. But his pace has been excellent, and many have tipped him to go with Uriarte all the way this weekend. Not the perfect riders in here as well, so it's pretty good watching, I would say, here. Gonzalez leading over Danish, Casey O'Gorman, big points on offer.
Yeah, Pugliese in there as well. Absolutely fantastic. I don't know if you've seen any of the recent social media stuff that the Junior GP account is putting up, but they did a quiz with our Junior GP social media team. Absolutely fantastic. Danny and Sergio putting it together.
Fantastic stuff, as always, from the guys.
So yeah, watch that. Go to the follow Junior GP on social media and watch the quiz with Rico Salmela.
Yeah, and Leonardo Zani, much like it was in race 1, just going wheel to wheel, matching him blow for blow, the championship leader Brian Uriarte. But now he's still got problems coming from behind. Rico Salmela and Jesus Rios are on the charge. Salmela particularly has closed down a huge gap here, displaying them all to play for. Big point on offer between P5 and P12.
Oh, Gonzalez goes wide there. Very unfortunate. He's pushing that. Danish is leading this group, and Gonzalez, despite that moment, is still very much in this battle. This
half a second quicker than the riders around him. None of the other leading quartet have been in the 145s last time around, but it doesn't matter much because Jesus Rios has decided he's had enough of being in 4th position and fires himself back into the podium places. But Salmela's pace
in the battle, well, it's a different story.
Yeah, different story at the front too. Leonardo Zani now has control of the race. Brian Uriarte slipping into 2nd position once again. Zani has had some experience leading the race, this race too already, but he does have some serious talent. 3 Junior GP race P race. Brian Uriarte now in 3rd position. Has he got an answer to Jesus Rios, who's just relegated him there on the front straight? He does not. What about the battle for 5th? Hakim Danish still leading over Casey O'Gorman. Then it's Esteban and Pugliese. But it's Danish on for good points here, sitting 4th in the championship.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't think we could say that we were surprised by his performances either. He's been absolutely brilliant. As you mentioned in Estoril with the podium, now here. It's just a shame that he wasn't able to catch up with this leading group. There's contact there between Rios and Uriarte. And both the Finetwork riders find themselves falling.
Veda Ega Pratama dan jalan sunyi menuju puncak dunia balap. Mentari musim panas Prancis menyinari sirkuit de Nevers Magny-Cours pagi itu. Di padek tim Astra Honda, seorang pemuda berdiri dengan mata tertuju pada trek yang belum pernah ia taklukkan. Bukan sekadar memandang, tapi mencoba meraba tiap tikungan dalam imajinasinya, seolah sedang menyusun teka-teki masa depan. Pemuda itu adalah Veda Ega Pratama, harapan baru bangsa Indonesia dalam dunia balap motor dunia. Hari itu, Veda bersiap menghadapi tantangan baru di putaran ketiga Junior GP World Championship 2025. Ini adalah trek yang asing baginya. Tidak seperti Mugello yang telah ia kuasai beberapa pekan lalu, Magny-Cours belum pernah ia jajaki sebelumnya. Tapi jika ada satu hal yang telah ia pelajari sejak kecil, adalah bahwa setiap tikungan yang tidak dikenal selalu menyimpan peluang besar bagi mereka yang berani. Veda bukan lagi remaja polos yang terkesima dengan dunia balap Eropa. Sejak kecil, ia telah terbiasa menggilas aspal dalam keheningan kampung halamannya di Gunung Kidul, Yogyakarta. Kini, dengan bendera merah putih di dadanya, ia bersaing di panggung yang mempertemukan para calon bintang MotoGP dunia. Di usianya yang baru 16 tahun, ia sudah membawa mimpi banyak orang Indonesia yang merindukan kehadiran pembalap tanah air di level tertinggi. 2 pekan lalu, di Mugello, nama Veda menggema keras. Ia bukan hanya menang, tetapi menyapu bersih 2 balapan Red Bull Rookies Cup dengan penuh gaya dan keberanian. Ia menyalip dari luar tikungan, bertahan dari tekanan hingga garis finish, dan berdiri di podium tertinggi dengan senyum lebar, senyum yang menandai sejarah baru balap motor Indonesia. Kemenangan itu tak datang begitu saja. Sebulan sebelumnya, di Estoril, Veda terjatuh dan mengalami cedera pergelangan kaki. Banyak yang menduga ia akan absen lama. Tapi ia bangkit lebih cepat dari yang diperkirakan, menahan sakit demi satu hal, membuktikan bahwa darah juara mengalir dalam dirinya. Dan Mugello menjadi saksi akan tekad itu. Tambahan 50 poin dari 2 kemenangan membuatnya melesat ke posisi ketiga klasemen Red Bull Rookies Cup, hanya di bawah pembalap senior seperti Hakim Danish dan Brian Uriarte. Tapi bagi Veda, posisi hanyalah angka. Yang lebih penting adalah kepercayaan diri yang tumbuh bersama kemenangan itu. Kini, di Magny-Cours, Veda menghadapi tantangan berbeda. Di ajang Junior GP ini, ia belum mencetak poin pun. Di Jerez, ia finish ke-21. Di Estoril, ia bahkan tidak menyelesaikan balapan. Ajang ini lebih keras, lebih teknis, dan lebih kompetitif. Tapi justru disitulah naluri pembalapnya diuji. Saya tahu ini bukan trek yang mudah. Tapi saya tidak datang untuk sekadar menyelesaikan balapan. Saya datang untuk bertarung, ujar Veda kepada media lokal. Dalam keheningan sirkuit pagi itu, ia menjalani track walk bersama tim, mempelajari detail demi detail lintasan. Setiap tikungan ia amati, setiap jalur pengereman ia simulasikan dalam kepalanya. Baginya, balapan bukan hanya tentang kecepatan, tetapi tentang memahami sirkuit seperti membaca isi hati lawan. Tak hanya soal lintasan, tekanan publik juga mulai mengarah padanya. Sejak Mugello, namanya menghiasi media nasional dan media sosial. Tagar Veda Ega Pratama trending. Bonus mengalir. Pujian membanjir. Tapi di tengah semua itu, Veda memilih diam dan bekerja. Karena ia tahu, pujian bisa memabukkan seperti kemenangan yang terlalu dini. Sementara itu, jadwalnya makin padat. Usai Magny-Cours, ia akan langsung bertolak ke Sachsenring, Jerman, untuk melanjutkan pertarungan di Red Bull Rookies Cup, serangkaian balapan yang akan menentukan apakah ia bisa mengakhiri musim ini di podium klasemen akhir. Setelah Jerman, Spanyol kembali menantinya di Aragon untuk putaran Junior GP berikutnya. Bagi sebagian orang, jadwal itu mungkin melelahkan. Tapi bagi Veda, inilah jalan yang harus dilalui oleh mereka yang ingin mengukir sejarah. Di pitlane Magny-Cours, suara mesin mulai meraung. Tapi di antara deru itu, langkah Veda tetap tenang. Ia menaiki motornya, memejamkan mata sejenak, dan menarik napas dalam. Di balik visor helmnya, tak ada rasa takut, yang ada hanya tekad seorang anak bangsa untuk membawa nama Indonesia lebih tinggi, lebih cepat, dan lebih jauh dari sebelumnya. dan saat lampu start menyala, Veda tahu, ini bukan sekadar balapan. Ini adalah bab berikutnya dalam kisah perjuangannya.